Good morning and welcome to Kiss Me, Son of Pod, a podcast where I talk about every song that I'm writing about by They Might Be Giants over on the free newsletter at kissmesonofblog.com. My name is Chase Rober, and I said good morning again, even though time is meaningless in the world of podcasts. I'm just going to start saying, if you're a listener, if you check in on this, semi-frequently, this is your morning listen, right? If you want the appropriate vibe of this show, it's getting recorded in the mornings. That's when you should listen to it. I am feeling a little bit better. I'm standing outside my work. It's a little misty out. So would really love to have a key to just go in on my own and be in my office. But maybe one day, just before the heat death of the sun, they'll give me a key. We're talking about the album Flood by They Might Be Giants. And this week's song is a great one. And it has, it's called Your Racist Friend. And I was just looking at the article I wrote about this back in July of 2024, so coming up on a year currently, and that was just the point when I hit 100 subscribers. That was my first 100, and it was kind of cool to look back and see that. So first of all, I owe Your Racist Friend an apology. The song. It's song number 6 on this album, and it's an absolute powerhouse of a song. So why am I apologizing? It's because I don't hype this song up enough to people or sing its praise enough to people, if I ever do, besides now. Although, I sing it, in my head, all the time, very often. As the time that I, first wrote this, Spotify showed that Istanbul, not Constantinople, and Birdhouse in Your Soul are this band's most listened to tracks, the two most, with 104.4 million and 43.2 million plays respectively. So when you're on an album amongst titans like Istanbul and Birdhouse, it is kind of hard to stand out. Now, culturally and musically, I think this song stands a test of time. I think it rocks harder than anything on this entire album, and honestly should be deserving of my constant praise. When I first listened to this song, it seemed like just the hardest rocking They Might Be Giants track I had heard yet at the time. Just this striking of the low E minor guitar. It's accompanying this splay of drums and this fading accordion. It just gives it the heaviest feel on this album so far. And honestly, throughout the entire album. The chorus starts and we hear the Johns with just their iconic, unconventional interval harmonies. This fantastic synth slap bass sound that just carries this song across the finish line into TMBG rock glory. Maybe it's the trumpet, right? Maybe it's the trumpet mixed with that rhythm electric guitar strumming, or just the frequency in which I listen to this album in the summer on camping trips with my best friend. But this song feels like a summer song to me. I can close my eyes, I can ignore the lyrics mostly, and just let the magic transport me to a campsite near a lake. That's how I hear it. For me, it just it feels like waking up while on break from school, on a Wednesday afternoon, and you don't have to go to class. Which, is there a feeling better than that? Let's this is a good moment to stop and let's listen to Your Racist Friend by They Might Be Giants.
This is where the party ends. I can't stand here listening to you and your racist friend. I know politics bore you, but I feel like a hypocrite talking to you and your racist friend. It was the loveliest party that I've ever attended. If anything was broken, I'm sure it could be mended. My head can't tolerate this bobbing and pretending. Listen to some bullet head and the madness that he's saying. This is where the party ends. I'll just sit here wondering how you can stand by your racist friend. I know politics bore you, but I feel like a hypocrite talking to you and your racist friend. This is where the party ends. I can't stand here listening to you and your racist friend. I know politics bore you, but I feel like a hypocrite talking to you and your racist friend. Out from the kitchen to the bedroom to the hallway, your friend apologizes, he could see it my way. He left the contents of the bottle do the thinking. Can't shake the devil's hand and say you're only kidding. This is where the party ends. I can't stand here listening to you and your racist friend. I know politics bore you, but I feel like a hypocrite talking to you and your racist friend.
All right, that was Your Racist Friend. And I fucking love this song. So what's interesting is that this song continues to comment on the anti-woke people who just say people can't take jokes anymore. No one can take a joke anymore, right? Even since I wrote this, dipshit Elon Musk made his dumbass comments about how you can't make jokes anymore. No one tells jokes. Like legalize comedy again. That bullshit, fucking horse shit. So, in recent time, although it's certainly not a new phenomenon, people like to hide behind, and I was a comedian for a long time. I don't know if you ever become an uncomedian. I don't think it ever leaves. I just don't do stand-up really anymore. But people like to hide behind the "I was kidding" words, right? I was kidding when they're being called out for saying like shitty things. Oh, I was kidding. You can't take a joke. A common occurrence is for some edgelord comic to like say or post something just blatantly racist or homophobic or transphobic or any other like ignorant, hate-filled phrase that is just clearly meant to bully or just make fun of a group or that group of people. And then this person gets tons of engagement online. But, they're getting ratioed in the comments, but they're also getting support, and they're just getting lots of interaction and engagement. And it reinforces and condemns what was said, and then they cry out about how nobody can take a joke anymore. So there's a lyric from this song that gets more and more poignant every day, and I see people reference this often during both Trump administrations now. And the lyric is, you can't shake the devil's hand and say you're only kidding. This is where the party ends. I can't stand here listening to you and your racist friend. It's also very comforting to me that this favorite band of mine from so long ago that I've just continued to listen to my whole life, I have not had, this isn't just for the band, but just my taste in entertainment in general, comedy, authors, musicians. None of them have come out as I got older and said shitty, racist, homophobic crap. They turns out we're, sort of anti-cop, sort of slanted towards anti-big government also, but also like, I don't know, everybody who declares somebody as woke for just being like caring and willing to grow and learn. Those are the artists that I fell in love with. It really wasn't until my adult life that I connected with these lyrics of the song, because I hadn't gone to parties. I hadn't hung out with people drinking or following politics or current events. So gaining a social life and encountering people with different views from my own made each listen make a little more sense. So for me, Twitter was the catalyst that shot Your Racist Friend into just the stratosphere of my daily consciousness. A song that rocks, calls out the distaste for hypocritical contrarians who think they can hide behind their non-comedy writing skills. One of those people is trying to become, and actually by this time I've written, has become the president again. And that's where the party ends. So that's my thoughts on this song, my memories, my feelings. I love that there's somebody listening to this that has not heard this song and is going to hear it for the first time. Oh, there's an airplane flying overhead. This is a great time to say thanks for listening to Kiss Me Son of Pod. You can subscribe at kissmesonofblog.com for free. Goodbye. Son of God.